responsible, keep up with your stuff, do to yourself or whatever, no fighting, no bullying, keeping, so I'm just gonna continue to do those same things to him, along with prep everyone that we have.
Yeah. And Zane's a classic example. Like, he's grown so much academically, and I've even seen like some growth as far as he's a lot more aware of what he's doing, and he's like actively like fighting, So that's really good. The reading part, I think, is what stood out to me for that. One of the things I've learned as far as in the years being a teacher, reading, just straight up letting your child read on their grade level, will produce the most amount of growth. So if they're going home and they're straight to TV or they're straight to whatever else it is that they like to do, playing outside, and those things are great, but if they're not reading every day, which is actually what you're about to get, it's going to be your only real take-home thing today that's not going to be electronic, will be this. And this is going to be our tracker for February. I'm challenging the students to read 20 minutes a night. You don't have this because I'm going to cut it out and put it in their agenda book so that it's not floating around. And the way this is going to work is that if they read 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes that night, they can color it and you sign it, and then they get credit for that. And so I told them if they can get at least 24, because there's 28 days, they're reading for at least 24 days, then we're going to have a donut party, and those students who colored it and filled it in will get to come. Because in class, we've actually cut out 20 minutes of our instruction just so they can read by themselves. And I come around and I help them, coach them on like, okay, you're working on comprehension, like these are 3 things we pinpointed you can do. And we had a bunch of them, but they weren't remembering them, so we took them down and we're reteaching them. Like, they all actually threw them away. We had like all the way to the bottom. It was like dictions, the other one was retelling the stories, all these different things that they weren't working on. So I was like, you know what, we're taking them down, we're going to reteach them. So we retaught them, and now when you ask your child to make a connection, 100% they'll be able to do that. If you ask your child to reread, they'll know what that means. That's for understanding. Like, I want to get it concrete. I'd rather have less and then be really good at it than have a million different things for them to do and they don't know how to do any of them. And so I think, I'm a firm believer, like, they need to be reading. So if they're at home and they're not going to do their homework that night, bite the tongue, but like, as long as they're reading, that I think is the most important thing. That they're loving reading, that they're taking it seriously, that they're understanding that, like, I want to grow, I'm going to read. Pick whatever book you like. Nonfiction, fiction, dinosaurs, monkeys, like, whatever. As long as they're reading. Okay? So anything else? Conversations you're having, I'm interested in that question. Conversations you're having about their future, about their goals.
Well, with Leonard, I actually don't have to ask him. He just come to me and tell me what he wants to do. I don't ask. He just come to me every day and be like, Mommy, I like this. I like the way that they do this. So when I get older, this is what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And he don't give you time to ask him to read or nothing. He comes to you like, look, Mom, this say that. Every day with a book, he got something different showing me. Like Leonard he like, to me, he like different from my other kids. He just, a lot of stuff he do is outside of the box.
He's very like, this is the box, I want to be all over here. Which is cool because he makes his own box. Like, that's really cool. Anything else? Okay, so the point is really for you to reflect. So hopefully that was a good time for you to think about some things that were working. And if you heard anything that you really like, you can also write it down at the bottom. Okay, so keeping track of this, since you guys reflected, I wanted to give you a little reflection about what has been going on, positive and negative, as far as the class goes. So positive, we've been tracking student progress. We've actually been keeping track of it, the ones we have. That AR tracker is brand new, and they love it. They're trying to get to that 10. Monday, we're having our other party. I don't know if it's a donut, but party to get to the 10. The point of that is that they're reading and then taking quizzes and passing them. And so if your student is not as high, it might be because they're not passing as many. When they fail one, they go back. Because a lot of students were just taking because they get points for just taking the quiz, but they're failing a bunch of quizzes. They're not reading them, so that's how that system works. Keeping in contact with parents, I think that we've been in a lot of communication, that I've contacted you for hopefully the good and the bad. And then reading progress, we have made, I think, quite a bit of reading progress. Some particular students, a bunch. And then personally, I think I've been very patient and loving with our scholars and trying to be a lot more like, okay, there's a lot of boom, and so I'm just being once for all, let's talk about this. Because I can be very quick to just be like, oh, get over it, work, and we have a lot to do. But realizing that they're human beings tonight. This little thing is a big deal to them. So. And then integrating the students into planning and holding them responsible. We're about to be in second grade 4 months, and then your students are in second grade. And so trying to get them to realize, like, as we get older and as we're starting to go into these higher grades, they have to be responsible at some point for their homework.
So yeah, come March or June, they're gonna be graduating, right?
It's gonna be June 4th is the last day of school, I believe, and then they're gonna be in second grade. Yeah. And then things to improve on. I think as a class, the tempers has been a really big highlight of the class, and it's been because they're not listening to each other. It's not so much that, like, I haven't had any fights. It's not going with. There's been no hitting. There's been a lot of, like, hey, touch me, and, like, bumping. Yeah. And I'll watch it happen. Like, a kid will nudge someone else, and instead of just being like, excuse me, or, like, taking the benefit of the doubt, it's like, and they're just, like, done. They're, like, yelling at each other. They're angry because someone, like, touched their sweater, and they're not just listening to each other. So we've been working on a lot of things. Our value of the month is empathy. Trying to, like, put yourself in their shoes. Like, if they didn't apologize, maybe they're really angry and they're just taking it out on you. How do you feel when you're angry? And, like, trying to get them to think outside of themselves a little bit, which is hard for a 6-year-old. They're in their own little, like, me world. Tutoring for and mentoring for math. We are actually in the works of this, and that we, Ms. Behrens and I have been communicating with Miami Country Day, which is a private school, like, down Biscayne, and their National Honor Society needs credits for tutoring and mentoring, which was perfect for our class. So emailing the lady back and forth, hopefully that gets started soon. And I'll tell you in a second, I'll tell you why that's going to be so incredibly important. Lunch buddies, we've done it once.
Yeah.
That's on all of us.
Yeah, it totally slipped my mind.
Yeah, that's on all of us. So hopefully we'll get that going. And then because of the tempers, we have ways to learn time. We've actually started this. It's been such a big difference. I write down everything we're doing for that day, and then they see what we don't get to. And they see, like, okay, reading time is over, and we have 3 things on the thing that we didn't even get to touch. So I had this big lecture with them about, like, I basically 3-step plan. So we have, like, we call it our surface level. They just need to know, like, the definitions of things. And then underground, kind of like where you get kind of deeper into it, all the way to apicores when you're making these connections and you're finding evidence for things. And, like, that's the higher level thinking. And we're not getting there. And, like, as they get up higher in their reading levels, it's not going to matter if they know how to read, like, a word, if they can't get to that deeper meaning and, like, understand kind of the text from a deeper level. So writing it up there, they know, like, okay, we're not going to ever get to that. We're not going to ever learn that. We're not going to grow. So that's been helping a lot. And then internet at home. I was supposed to contact 7 parents about the internet program, and I have it for you today, so we'll take care of that. So yeah, tonight, hopefully we'll set up that internet, and then, yeah, meeting with the parents whose students have been having the temper problems, I've kind of done that. All right, so everything else is set. Okay, so just really quickly, wanted to know what you, when on the flip over to the side that you guys did that, the first thing you did in the beginning, the State of Our Country paper, the first reflection paper. It should be the one that has the stapled paper to it. And I'm going to read these over later, but I'm going to read these over later. I kind of wanted you guys to just share. Is this a precedent? Let me give you kind of some context of what happened. We talked about things that are going to be really important, the things that are really affecting our community that we wanted to see differences. We had this whole unit on students who are making big differences. We had to study this little boy taking all these teddy bears to Haiti after they had the earthquake, and all these different things. So we just sat down and we did a poll. We're going to come up with all of the world problems. So they came up with all these different things, and then we narrowed it down to 3. And from those 3, they thought the most important and most pressing thing to them were shootings. Shocked me. I did not think they would come up with that. Not because it doesn't happen, but because I don't know how aware you are as a child that that's happening. But it came up. And so I just remember, parents were coming in, we had all this thing on shootings and the thing. And so I wanted to explain it to you guys so we had better context. We're going to have to research it, so I didn't really want them Googling shootings. So today we kind of looked at more what was the root problem. And so they, as a class, decided that, people are angry, and people are angry because people were messing with people. And so they kind of narrowed it down to it being a bullying problem. And bullying in the context of a school, bullying in the context of the world, people not being nice to each other. So okay, that's I think a lot better, a lot more tangible thing that we can research and get to know and like understand. So I wanted to get your feedback, negative or positive, about that happening in class and the feedback and what you guys think about it, if you're comfortable with it. I don't want to proceed. It's not in our curriculum, so it's not like state mandated or anything, so I wanted to ask you before we went forward.
I'm okay with it.
Is there anyone that's like adamantly against it? Okay. You get to vote because you're here. But okay, so we're gonna keep going with the whole bullying thing. The long-term process, what I'm trying to do is get them to create kind of a proposal or a plan of action that we can actually bring to the school and try and stop. Because like it's not just happening in our classroom; it's happening all over our school, and it's a big problem. The students don't feel safe sometimes. Students don't feel allowed to come to school. And like, there's so many opportunities here, like within education, that should not be a barrier. You know, it shouldn't be like some kid that's another kid being barrier. So anyway, I'll let you guys know how that goes, and you'll get that. Is there anything you wanted to mention from that paper that was really like bearing on any of you?
I think it's good because that happened too. It's just life. It's just reality. Because it happened about a year ago with the shooting that happened in the other state where the person went into school and just started killing all the kids and stuff. And they even made a little girl, her name is Katie or whatever. She made a video, a music video, and she talks about what happened in the video. They showing all the little children's faces and stuff. So the kids already aware and know what's going on. So it's like you can't hide nothing from them. Yeah. So it's like if we don't tell them and teach them, they're gonna learn it somewhere else.
Exactly. And I thought it would be better to I don't want them to just feel like there's a problem that they can't do anything about. Because they're so young, and they're like, the way they expressed this to me was very interesting. They said Miss Kim, we know this is a problem, but what am I gonna do? And to me, knowing that there's a problem that you can't do anything about is more frightening than the problem itself. I don't, if someone's says that they don't feel safe somewhere, and the student says I don't know if I feel safe here. I don't know if I can go. One of the comments was, I don't feel comfortable going to the park. I can't even go to the park. And that's a joy a kid should have. So. Yeah, that's why I thought it would be great. Okay, and then we're going to go on to the last two parts of our meeting. All we have left is the I Ready and then planning our class trip. So I'm not going to be giving you guys so you don't have any big packets with flashcards and stuff this time, because I'm going to give you guys something I think is actually going to be better, which is access to this program. Last time, raise your hand if you guys have been, not to call you out, but if you've done this at home, if this has been something that has come up. Okay. Last parent meeting, I only touched on it briefly, so it didn't come up as much. But okay. So this is what it looks like.